Oh, house. That is the word everybody uses for house.
How would you pronounce that?
It depends how it's used. If I went down on the main A30 and I found that place written up, like, it looks like Chaibuka, it really should be pronounced Shabuka. Because you may have you heard of Chapons? Chapons down there in the west. It's really Chai Pond, Bridge House, but it's pronounced Chapons. What that advertisement goes out, you know what Channels? Channels, you have Channels, it's actually a Devonshire firm, but it comes from Channels. They say Channels, it really be Channels, it's from the house on the cliff house it means, and that word's turned into ch. So it depends how you use it. The word that John Boson used for house, when it's stressed, you know, you stress or you don't stress. If you stress it, you either say house or say house. Well, I think it's stressed English anyway. That's chai. Now he spells that, I'm not labouring the point, but very useful. He spells ch as TSH. It's just the same spelling with CH, so that doesn't matter. What follows does, he spells house like that or like that. That's a very good spelling, because once we know that that's and that's e, you can't go wrong, that's e, so it's chi. If you spell it like that, you might be tempted to say chai, which it isn't, so that is the best spelling of all. So people don't want to put y's on dots and, you know, put TSHs there. Why not put a CH for ch? Okay. Why not put an EI? Okay. But it's chai and not chai. Chai. Now, if it is unstressed, if it comes at the beginning of a word, like Chibuka, the glory of having fluid spelling with a Y is all you have to do, let's take this, let's take the dot off. You don't need the dot. If I spell it like that, and then I spell it like that, for sake of argument, that's chai. If it's in the case of Chibuka, that disappeared and you're left with Chibuka. Chibuka. It shouldn't really be Chaibuka. You'll hear people saying that, it's Chibuka. And that really gives you the correct sound. We don't use dots over Y's normally in writing Cornish now, but you could do. It's a bit laborious. And typewriters don't have them for where people like to type stuff, and you wouldn't even get it on your computer. I've got them on mine because I make it work it out, but nobody wants to bother to write Y dots. So you just have to learn how to pronounce it. I think CHEI is very good, but you must learn how to pronounce it. So that's chai, unless it's not stressed, in which case it's ch. In which case that's perfectly valid. So it's either going to be chai or ch. Okay, does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Right, now we're going to wall. The basic word for wall begins with an F. So what you've got a VOSE would really begin with an F. When you add the vowel is FO circumflex S. Now that O circumflex is the same that we had earlier on when we were talking about the word for pig. It's almost like a double O. So it's not quite foos, but it's foos, right? And it's feminine. So if we say the wall, that F turns into a V, and that's why you've got that there. That becomes an vus. So that's, when you've got maras and vus, it means the market by the wall, and travus means the farm by the wall, or communal wall, all sorts of sense, house wall, or a wall of a fortification, as in the case of travus. It just depends how it's used, but the V only comes in really when you've got V in front of it, because the feminine word, talking grammar, you can't avoid talking grammar in the end, you've got to. And if it's feminine, it turns to V. So it's not anfus, but anvus, anvus. The best way to pronounce it almost is if it was spelled with a double O. So it's not vos, it's vus. Now, a thing to learn about this, again, is how they pronounced the word for Jones in East Cornwall. This is very interesting. I used to live at Egliskerry, and the man next door was called Jones, only he said Junes. And that gives you the sound of that O, Junes, right? Pathway, right? Ares, that's okay, nothing wrong with that, Ares. A gate, yet, there's nothing wrong with that. And remember that it's not E, it's yeah, it's air, the same sound that you get in the word for sand, which you had already as treth, that's it, yeah, air, yet. Vor, okay, again, once again, a feminine word, the original is an F-O-R, and that comes when you put an in front of it, and vor.
That's road, yeah?
Yeah, it's road. It's road, it's path, it's everything you walk along or drive along is vor. That's the only word we have, generally speaking, for anything that's a made way. In fact, the way cleared around a field for the horses when they're harvesting is also referred to as a vor. A vorver, which means a horseway. Vorver is a way cleared for the horse. So vor means anything to do with, it really means way. You know, the real meaning is way, and a way in English is somewhere you can pass along, isn't it? So it doesn't mean it's metalled or made up or anything. You haven't got down to the word for lane. Of course, that's more common than vor, actually. Do you want me to go into that?
Yeah.
Well, everybody knows the word. The word bounder.
Okay.
Very common in West Cornwall, near Redruth, is it Redruth? Near Cameron. There's Voundevian, little lane. And so that is really the word for lane. It means originally pasture. It means the land that the bowin, the oxen, can feed on, because it was free land, not enclosed. You could wander along and the oxen could just browse as they went. It came to mean a lane. So that is really the word we have for a lane. And since nearly all our roads are lanes, it's the word you have to know. Bounder, right. Not bounder, mind, but bounder, bounder. Bowin is a beeve, an ox beast. Sun, right? Again, if you put OW, people will tend to say howl. It's howl. OU is hole, right? That was brought in by Morton Lance. The actual word is...
That's a claim for Cumberland.
Is Cumul, yeah. It's Cumul. And the plural is Cumulo, I think. So cloud is Cumul. It's the same word as you get in cumulus, you know, cumulus cloud, Cumul. And it's pronounced Cumul, actually, Cumul. You go to the Breton dictionary, you find that. Field, several words for field. If it's got a hedge around it, it's a park. If it hasn't, it isn't. So park has got to be enclosed. We have a word parkia, which means to enclose with a hedge, right? Which means to park. So you can use that for the park, because that's where it comes from. There's so many other words for a field. I mean, if it's a large open field that you cultivate, it's gweil. And if you go to Helston, you find gweil hellis and gweil meadows and gweil dews, and that is a big open field for growing crops in. Park is very general, can be used for anything, but gweil doesn't necessarily have a hedge around it, but a park does. See, there is a difference, therefore, in usage. This came in quite late in the language, and interestingly, it came in when people were making so many more hedges, when they were enclosing the land, they were making hedge field. That's when the word park came in. So all these word park names come in from Tudor times onwards. Before that, you've got gweil. If it's a meadow, it's prayers, as in prayers and Bible down west. There's another word for meadow, which is bithen, which you do find. And there are other words as well. I won't go too deeply into it. There are about 5 or 6 different words for field, because since life was very much based on farms, you know, it was very specialised. And it wasn't just a field. It was, what do you mean by a field? Do you mean a field for growing things in? Do you mean a field for putting the animals in? You know, it makes a difference. So they were very careful about it. Town, right? The actual word is tre. If you put the in front of it, it comes out Andre, right? Like that, Andre, tre. Village it means a church town. So Treveglis is all right. I mean, latterly this is spelled Treveglis, but that doesn't make any difference. Treveglis. There's another word rather like that, which is treve, which applies to a village. A tre is a town, or it means all sorts of things. It means home, it means a farm place, it means all sorts of things. Treve means a village. That's where Treveglos comes from. So that means church village.